All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome you guys back to Willback RV Master. In today's video, what we're taking a look at now is we're going to take a look at how to keep your well from freezing in frigid temperatures. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about that a little bit, and then what you will see is you will see us you will see me working on this well, trying to get it all covered up and get it fixed. All right. So what we have here today is a 82-gallon well system. What we have here is, if you see here, this is your sleeping bag, and what I did here is I took this little sleeping bag. I took that little sleeping bag. I took two sleeping bags, and I covered up our well. And what I did is I covered it up to keep it from freezing. So, as you will notice, our well is covered up. So what we're going to take a look at now. We're going to take a look at some features on our well that we need to keep frozen. All right. So what we're going to do now here is this. If you look at right here, you see this pipe right here? This pipe right here that runs into the well right here, you can see that this pipe runs into the well. And as you can see, it takes a really nice drop down into the well, into the tank. And as you can see, we got to keep that covered up as well. Okay. Also, you got to keep your pressure gauge and your pressure switch covered up there as well on your pressure tank. All right. That's what you're going to see there as well on your pressure tank. So I do have the pressure tank covered at this time. As you can see, it's covered it's covered up with a sleeping bag. What I did last night is I took Mr. Terry's trash can. That was not the right way to do it, and I took Mr. Terry's trash can that the phone's sitting on, and I covered that up. I put the trash can over the sleeping bag to prevent it from blowing off during the night. So I took that son of a gun and I put that over on top of the sleeping bag, and my mother's like, "Oh no, you need to take that off." So I took it off, and it still works pretty well. Okay, so this tank is an 82-gallon well tank. What happens is that whenever you're emptying out, whenever your tank is going cold, as you can tell, your tank will go cold. Now, let's talk about some issues that you will have when it comes to having a frozen well tank. All right. Now, if your tank is freezing, all right, one thing that you'll tell is this. You could tell that if your tank is frozen, what you can do is you could tap on the side like this. And what you can do is you could take your hand and run it down the side of the tank like this. You see right here? This is all water. Okay, this right here is all water. Okay, so all this up here is air. Okay, this up here is air. The reason why I'm tapping on the tank is to give you guys a little bit of an example of what your tank will sound like without air. Okay, so without air or water. Okay, now if you have a well at your home, what you can do is you could take some sleeping bags and put it over your well like this. So what we're doing now is, since we have frigid temperatures tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday, you can tell that this right here is not a good idea. This right here is a good idea to have protected on your well tank. Okay, and that's really what you're supposed to have on your well tank whenever you have frigid temperatures like this. Now, if you look down here over to your right, what I did over here is, as you can see, this little pipe that comes out of the tank, or that comes out of the ground right here. As you can see, it comes out of the ground and it goes up into this tank. It goes up into this tank here. Okay. So what I did is, what we have here is, you can see there's a little knob here. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cover that little knob back up, since that little thing came off of there. That little knob cover. Okay. That's a little cover that protects your knob from freezing. Okay. And in that little knob, there is a ball valve. Okay. What is a ball valve? Now, a ball valve is something that stops and starts the flow of water leaving the well. Okay. It stops and starts the flow of water from leaving the well. okay? So ladies and gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, a little bit ago, I just got out of the shower and this well has been used a good bit while I was taking a shower this morning, okay? So let me go ahead and explain to you guys the start to finish process of what happens to your well when it starts pumping water, okay? When the water comes up from the ground, it comes up through this pipe right here. And as you can see, it takes a turn and it goes into this pipe right here that's covered. And it goes down and it takes another turn and then it goes into your tank for reservation, okay? It goes into your reservoir, okay? Now, this right here is your reservoir, okay? See this right here? This right here is your reservoir, okay? So what happens here is that all that water that sits in there, over time, it will freeze, okay? What will happen over time is if that water is not used in less than an hour or so, it's going to freeze, okay? And now, to tell if your well is frozen, what you can do is you can punch it like this. You can punch it basically at the top as well to see if your well is frozen, okay? That's what you're going to get with a well that is frozen, okay? So, with everything that you should know about your well, there is really good information about your well being frozen, okay? Now, if you have a frozen well tank, the only thing that you should do is you could take a hair dryer or a heater, a space heater or a hair dryer, and you can take the hair dryer or space heater and you can warm it up. And that way all the water starts to enter into your tank efficiently, okay? So that's really what's nice about your well tank as well. With your well tank as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for today's video on how to keep your well tank from freezing. That should do it for today's video on how to keep your well tank from freezing. Have a great day.